Hi guys, welcome to another review, and today I have something pretty cool. This is actually my first horror figure review or horror related review. It is of course Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first film, and it is part of the retro cloth range by Neca. Anyway, here we have the figure, and I sadly don't have the blister package, the resealable style retro package that they come with, as I did buy this one second hand from from the guy I buy like retro stuff from. He had this for £12 without the package, and I thought, you know what, that's good. It's in good condition, so the package isn't something that I'm going to fuss too much over. Although the packaging is very nice, the artwork and everything that they have. But moving on, here we have the figure. I'll start with the head. Zooming in and taking off his hat just for the sake of this. That is awesome, that is. Neca is brilliant at what they do, and this does show it. That looks awesome. I mean, look, he's got a hole in his ear, and then just above that massive hole, there's like a tiny hole. You can just about make it out there. Just there. That is cool. He's got like a slit there. And just his face in general, he's got like a scarred tissue coming through. You can see like a bit of bone there. This here looks like it's relatively intact. His teeth, now that looks cool. They're all dirty, and yeah, that looks awesome. His eyes, he just looks evil. Like all the wrinkles, the burn marks on top of the head here. You can see is probably his brain. You got some kind of blood coming through some of the gashes and wounds that he has in his head. He's just got like a black mark there, and the rest of his head's all like kind of wrinkled, kind of like how a mummy's head would be. So that's really cool. That is just awesome. That is. The head sculpt alone, and he has that same detail continuing down here, and that's where it stops, just on his neck. He's even got like some kind of a wound there, which you can't really see because of his jumper, but oh well. That is just awesome. That is. He's got his hat here as well. It's a basic fedora, brown. As you can see there. Pretty nice. And it stays on his head well. Just push it down a bit and it holds itself on. And that's that. Moving on to his jumper, which is here also. His jumper is a pretty controversial feature about this figure, from what I can tell by what I've seen on the internet, because of how baggy it is. I don't think it's the clothes with these Neca figures, because they have this, which is a type 1 body, and then they have other ones such as their Leatherface, which is a type 2 body. And what I've personally found is, if I look at their, like, to me, for some reason, it just might just be my imagination, but I think if I compare the arms to like Amigo, they're just much skinnier in my opinion, as you can see. It might just be my eyes playing a trick on me, but I personally think they're skinnier. So I think if they made their bodies a bit kind of chubbier, then maybe they'd fill the clothes out a bit better. But this really isn't a problem for me, because I like the retro style action figures, so I like the fact that his clothes are a tad baggy, which I presume is what Neca was trying to go for, like a bit of a baggy look. With his woolen jumper, it's quite thick as well. It looks like it was actually knitted, like hand knitted, and it looks awesome. Let's try, just trying to pull it down a bit. There we go. It looks awesome. You got your green stripes there, same thing along the back. That just looks awesome. I also read somewhere that the reason why, I think it was Wes Craven that chose this for Freddy's jumper. Stand please. No, I'm just going to hold him. The reason why he chose this was because red and green, I'm not sure if it's red and green in general, or just these reds and greens, are the hardest colours for your eyes to like kind of acknowledge at once, or something like that. It's looks funny on the eyes, and I don't know, it might be the case. I mean, because it's so iconic now, it's just normal to me, but back when they probably filmed this, it was probably like really weird to look at, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Moving on to his hand here. His hand is just pretty basic. It's like a kind of reaching out kind of palm. If I can zoom in. Oh no, it's alright. I can get a good view of it from here. Focus please. There you go. You can see some veins, his fingernails, his hand's pretty dirty. His palms, the lines and everything looks like he's been digging through dirt or whatever it is he does. And yeah, it looks really cool and creepy. Like a reaching out for you kind of a hand, and it just looks awesome to me. This of course is a different material to the rest of the wall, and it doesn't have the stripes on it like what part 2 had. And I personally think it looks nicer without the stripes on the arms. So. The glove. Warped when I got it, but a bit of boiling water did the trick. It looks amazing. Look at it, it's got that kind of like brassy, coppery look to it. It's kind of dinged up. You see this is bent up as well there, where the metal's just been like scratched and whatever. You got some screws and everything, and that just looks awesome. And then on the back, you can make out where his fingers are, as you can see there. Zoom in here, Tad. And that just looks awesome. You see his palm through the glove. He's just got one of those, yeah, scratching like attires. Well, not attires, but poses. And that just looks awesome. Very, very cool, that. His trousers, they're just a pretty basic black with some, like, it's like a kind of like a soot that they've got on them. As you can the camera pick it up? Not really, but there you go, there's some more on the back there. Like it's got that on them, which looks pretty cool. It's pretty weird that they don't have that much on the front, but they have like a nice patch on the black on the back. But oh well, nothing major. His shoes, they're just black really, with this odd like. I'm just going to try and move this trouser leg up just so you can try and see this black a bit better. Oops. Focus in please. There you go. You can just about make it out. It's got like this kind of blue wash on it, which is kind of weird. Why they've got that, I don't know, but it works for the figure for some reason. You know, he's got his laces and everything else there. That looks pretty cool. On the bottom you've got like a tread along with the copyright crap. So yeah, that's cool. Zooming out, his articulation. He's got articulation in the head like a ball joint. It's kind of stiff, but yeah, nothing that I'm going to cry about. There's articulation in his arm. They can go up that high, you can go that far forward, that far back. You can bend in the elbow with just a single joint, and he has a swivel and a hinge in both hands. He has a waist cut, no like kind of pelvis joint like what the Migos would have, which is a shame. His legs can go that far forward and out, and he has a bend in the knee, which is really a crappy bend in the knee. That's how far back it goes. That's just pointless. Surely they can make it go a bit further. If I try and roll this up, see if I can see the knee joint. Yeah, I think it's just because of the way his calf's done, as you can see there. Something you don't even see, so I would have just made it like kind of flat, just for more articulation, but oh well. And he has a hinge in the foot. Now I've stated in other reviews that when these companies make retro style figures, I'd rather them use modern articulation instead of the articulation that Mego would use, just so the figures would last longer. And yes, they will last longer technically, although you can fix Megos relatively easily. I take it back. I take back what I said. I prefer the elastic style articulation, because this is not good for articulation in my opinion. I mean, that's the pose I have him in on my shelf, so I don't need a lot of articulation, but I know there are a lot of articulation aficionados out there. Let's move the camera a bit. So I do think that is one thing they should have worked more on, their articulation, because their figures are normally very well articulated, especially their 18-inch ones. My god, I've seen their 18-inch Arkham Knight. It looks sublime. It looks so awesome. I mean, I have the like 7-inch DC Direct one, but that one is just amazing. But moving back to this, yeah, the articulation really isn't that good. And I understand this is the Type 1 body, so I do have a Type 2 body review coming up as well. Not just the body, a figure as well, but yeah, so look forward to that. I'm not going to say what it is though, just keep it a bit of a surprise. We also have, if I just bring him in here, Scaroth, the last of the Jaggeroth. He's just what I use to compare sizes with other retro figures. I don't know why, because he doesn't have anything making him taller, he doesn't have any hoods or anything like the Master figure does. I just use him for a quick comparison. So yeah, that's that. As far as this figure goes though, as a rating, I would give him a 7 out of 10 because it's very well detailed and everything. It doesn't have any accessories, which is a shame, but what can you give him, I suppose? Maybe a alternate hand where his little finger's been cut off with a bit of like a pus or whatever spewing out of it, which I think one of their Ultimate Neca Freddy Krueger figure had, but oh well. And if the clothes were a tad less baggy, I understand they're trying to go for a retro look, but I think that's just a bit too baggy. So yeah, I think that's a fair rating. And well, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really do enjoy these retro figures, especially these NECA ones because of how detailed they are. And yeah, take care, guys.